And red side, amount of losses 3.
You must have something crazy. And if Cassante makes it through and T1 gets it again, then I will not speak too much because I'll have to push down a whole lot of anger. That's now healthy, so I'll just be silent.
Yeah, don't bottle it. Definitely let it out. This is a safe space, Chronicler. You can talk to me. You can talk to Twitch chat. G-Sun's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's totally fine.
I'm not liking the direction where we are going.
Well, it's the same, except the Cassante will be banned away. And so what slips through instead? Maokai. And so now Melio will be locked in. And Harmolife Esports, what are they going to go for? I would suggest picking away one of the things that was a gigantic problem. But I think the Zerayumi was still, I mean, it's still broken, right? I don't know about the Gragas, but that's fine. We're going to lock that one in yet again. And I think if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. So maybe it's just Melio Aphelios again, and then maybe priority pick the Jax because it was just so good, and they blind picked it last time, worked out fine.
Might be the angle here. Aphelios for Guma, we're obviously not going to complain about. Pick is still extremely high priority. You know, Guma loves it himself, is very confident on it, very comfortable. Team knows how to play around it. And, as mentioned, with Melio, it becomes extremely oppressive. Would also not be surprised if we end up seeing a jungle pickup here. But no, it is just going to be the straight-up Ahri here, and yeah, you basically have to lock in Yumi. Not a lot of flexibility for Hanwha here. Can flex Gragas, but I expect it to go towards Zeka here.
I very much hope it goes towards King, because I really want, like, and then you can put Clid on Viego again, and he can do a bit of that physical damage and stuff like that, and let's be honest,
Viego Lissandra, I like it.
Yeah, Viego Lissandra I think could be fine. I don't know whether that's in Zeka's wheelhouse. I just think that making Zeka as strong as possible and as comfortable as possible is going to be a priority. And now, with Ahri taken away from him, it really does limit his effective champion pool in this meta, right? We know Zeka is phenomenal at Azir, Sylas, Akali. These champions, they no longer really have much of a place.
No, they are not good, in fact. They are... not at the forefront of the meta for a reason.
In Challenger, we did see the Azir.
Yeah.
Wait, was that yesterday?
No, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
And what happened?
It felt like Challenger. Because that series was absolute craziness. And yeah, it did not do so well,
it lost.
Yeah. That's because Cassiopeia is too strong as a meta champion.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was definitely the problem.
Yeah.
And the Viego is also something that T1 would love to pick up. Wukong is another, although last time we did see T1 ban that away on their final rotation. We'll be doing that again.
Pick Jax.
Team fighting power.
Maybe that's how you avoid it. Yeah. That's what Zeus did. Surely it's fine. I just felt like the Jax was a big problem.
It was, but I think the Viego.
So are they playing the same comp?
Yeah, but there's no Cassante on the enemy team.
Hey, true.
So I think you take it.
All right. It's Ahri instead, so is definitely dangerous.
Kha'Zix?
Oh, okay. Wait, but doesn't that mean that Kingen gets to play Jax for free?
It might. Might also mean King and Aatrox.
Ooh.
R5 Aatrox angle can also just be a Lissandra after all.
Yep.
And rotate that Gragas towards top side. Couple options there. So what will it be here? Would it just be Maokai?
It could be Maokai. Could also just be Sejuani again. He played very well. That's Hecarim.
Okay, well, it's definitely not that. Okay, we're having some fun here. Kha'Zix.
Hecarim's face, by the way, is so troll face now with the new splash art. I actually think it's kind of ridiculous. But Kha'Zix going to be locked in. Bit of extra damage coming out of the jungle this time around, knowing that the Scion is going to be there. Kingen thinking about being a bit crocodilian towards the top lane. Kind of cute. Not sure whether into the brick wall of Scion is going to be the greatest. And I think going for the gentleman's agreement, this is a dignified top lane. That's what I'm talking about. You know, the red and black tinges of the Scion and the Ornn. Absolutely glorious as they saunter majestically towards a lane where they will just beat minions.
Hey,
till they can be great front lines for their team.
And farm grass procs off of one another.
Yeah.
In perfect unison.
Oh, it's glorious, isn't it? One with a hammer, one a small mallet, and one with a huge axe, and yet both of them doing the same amount of damage to one another. All right, Zeka making sure that his eyes are well and truly lubricated as we get into this. So, draft not changing a whole lot on the side of Life Esports. T1 not able to pick up the Cassante, but picking away the Ahri, and also giving it to Faker, who is a fantastic Ahri player in his own right. Slightly different, some adaptations. T1 still with a lot of the power points that they had in game number 2.
So King Mayushi there, Viper as well. Viper hasn't been the issue. Game number 2, he didn't have an impact, but not really up to him. Oner playing the Kazakhs this time around. T1 definitely a little bit lower on CC than some of their previous games, and this is a Zeri Yuumi, and it feels like Life this time around, much better end of the deal.
I think so too. I think eyes are going to be on Zeka to see whether he can stand up in this lane as the Gragas this time around. It's a big test. Let's hop onto the Rift. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the skin coordination actually fantastic between Clid and Viper. You love to see it. Also, the Yuumi skin working out very well. Look at the color coordination. You love it. Kingen just having a great time, of course. Very, very comfortable on this on. Was by far his best pick last year. This year, all the time. He's just very, very good. As Life set up a ward and just park themselves here in this lane. I believe Zeka has gone for exactly the same skin. But yeah, look at that, like this Viego skin, and then like it's basically the same as the Zeri. Very, very cool. Kingen just having a good dance.
A little worried. No. No actually hitting each other, guys. Come on.
Is this Tryndamere Scion? Tryndamere Malphite Scion? It's just similar colorway based Tryndamere.
I thought there was more to it than that.
No, it's not.
Sure.
I don't think that far. Most of the time.
Okay, well, we're seeing something that we've been seeing a lot, which is a sign helping out with VOD clear. Kazakh's always happy when he has solitary targets because of the isolation damage on his Q. Early damage coming through here as expected. Guma and Keria were able to take a pretty decisive lead early on in the last game as well, even though Viper and Life held on. Plates going in favor of this Aphelios and Emilio combo, and gotta expect Guma and Keria to want to do that again this time around.
And Cozy Campfire being taken at level 1 is quite interesting. We don't often see it. It's got an incredibly long cooldown, and so leaves them without too many buttons to press from their Emilio's perspective. Of course, has it back available now, but not often what you see. Kind of cool. Level 2 now going to be gained as once again not going to get the moonshot, and therefore Life Esports not going to take too much harass from this scenario. Prowling Projectile does not prowl effectively enough.
And that's one of the big benefits, right, playing into specifically Zeri and Yuumi. You get away with some greedier choices, don't need Q at all, because what are they going to do? Jump into you? Not really likely. So on a highlight, Ghost for Guma here, so really going, it makes sense, there's not that much to cleanse on the opposing side. Going for the Ghost, both for some additional safety in lane when it comes to making your way back to your own turret. Playing aggressively, if you want, in skirmishes. And obviously, late game team fighting. The main reason why the Ghost has been so popular on both the Jinx and the Aphelios. Jinx, of course, definitely dropping in priority in the meta.
Yeah, it certainly has. We have seen it have some success, even on this patch, but certainly not like it used to. Nice super mega flame kick or something. Pretty sure it's very similar to the actual name. Everything else is like warm hugs, cozy campfires, and then super mega fire kick thing. It's a little bit off theme, I think, with Emilio's vibe, but I like, you know, you've got one thing that does a damage, you may as well emphasize it.
Maybe he's just a very enthusiastic football player.
Hey, there we go. Kind of like it.
And that's the reason why.
Well, I'm not going to score a goal on that particular one, as we saw just there.
Or did he? Because it was between...
Oh, between... Yeah, okay, that's true. That's true.
Well, I don't know.
That's at least
if
one
the goal
point in
was
Australia. It's got to be.
If the goal was Viper in live, then he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting some brutal procs here towards the top side. Jonah Strong just making sure that top lane still exists. It does. We probably don't need to check in on it too much more. As so far, Chronicler, it's going better and worse for Humble Life Esports because remember, Viper got first blood last game. Kingen is very far forward. Just breathing on the Scion a little bit. A bit more aggression than I was promised in my Scion versus Ornn lane. But yes, Viper doesn't have that first blood, but also things haven't kind of fallen off the rails as much as they did quite early on. As Clid going to make his way in, see whether they can get something here as Zekka is just going to flash body slam, finds the charm, but it's on to Clid, and Clid's just going to be able to grab it. Dives under the turret. I'm not sure whether you really wanted to do that. However, he is going to survive at least after sacrificing 100% of his health bar to the turret gods.
Big win there for Humble Life. Zekka gets the setup, flash body slam, and already does enough damage to the point where when Faker flashes, Clid, even though he does not hit his Q, still able to pick up the kill. And early lead here for the jungler on Humble Life. Clid has been able to generally push those leads quite well. Also, no flash available on Faker, going to reduce the aggressive potential of that Ahri in some possible skirmishes around either the first Drake or the Herald.
Indeed. A back timer going to be taken here for Kingen. Was pushed out by the Scion. Nice play. I'm just going to go back and, you know, put some more things together. Actually decides not to. He can, of course, just build them himself, and will start doing that right here, as we can see. What is he crafting? There it is. Balmy Cinder. Put together very nicely. As we're going to check this one out one more time.
And Zekka going for E into Flash. Gets all his damage off, had the W primed already, and now
all right.
Zeus.
All the Forge God going to come through here as Zeus is at least able to drive the train all the way towards these minions. Going to be able to take it out. That is the coolest way to proxy a minion wave I have ever seen. Oh dear.
He needs to die.
He does. He does. Scion generally can be trusted to do this.
Oh my god, he's fine!
That's okay. Oh, that's actually just the coolest way out I've ever seen. Look at how much time he wasted for this Zerayumi. That's a full minion wave they are not going to get, and that's a plate they cannot defend. Gumayusi's got the best guns. I said plate, I meant 2 plates. Oh my goodness.
You know what the best part is about that? On the day that Laura joins, we get not only some French fans, but that was straight out of the Bowser's playbook.
Oh yeah.
Straight to tier 2, gets the minion wave, and gets the execute. And obviously Viper trying to get the kill went over, but that gave all the time to Guma, as you were pointing out. And now T1 turning that gank around and actually getting themselves a huge lead on this Aphelios.
Just gigantic. Viper is going to be able to get over here, and the turret isn't dead, I guess, but that's the only good news, really, is Gumayusi taking a lot of damage here. Viper doing a great job pressuring him away. Campfire not quite enough to win out on that one. So some aggression. Let's have the Berserker's Greaves. We'll see whether Viper goes for the same build yet again. I imagine he did it on purpose, you know, obviously has been working in scrims and things like that. As okay, oh, not going to be able to find the cube as Gravitum going to be cleansed as Viper can skate out of this one at any time. We'll see when he's actually going to press that button. He may have actually used the dash a little bit earlier on, but is just going to move back towards Clid and will be able to keep himself alive. But still, does have the cleanse on cooldown now.
Yeah, this is something that Oaks was talking about during the desk. I think Viper is going to go again for the crit build because he has gone Sorcery second. In the previous game, he went Ingenious Hunter and another Domination Rune. I'm not 100% sure. I think it might have been Zombie Ward. But, and then went obviously for crit build, didn't get a lot of value out of that. And with Sorcery, I'd imagine that he's going to go for crit again, just switching up his secondary runes to try and get a little bit more value out of them. As Clid going to take the opportunity and pick himself up a free red buff.
Yep. grabs this control ward as well. Bit of extra money here, some value for the Viego. Kha'Zix still slinking around his jungle, has the Umbral Glaive extraordinarily early. And we haven't actually seen this rushed on Kha'Zix quite as much as we did in the past, but still does have a heck of a lot of value. Knock-up going to come down here as, yes, buttons are being pressed in the top lane, guys. Not a whole lot is going to come of it.
Yeah, Future's Market being used by Oner there. This is basically one of the best case scenarios, getting access to a lethality spike very early on. We saw there when we looked at the gold. Is still behind Klid, and it's about 300 because Klid is up a kill. So makes a ton of sense. Oner getting a loan, so gonna be very strong for this moment. Wonder if he'll actually be able to utilize it, but T1 picks up the Dragon as well a few minutes ago, and should have an opportunity to contest heavily as well as... Oh, Klid.
This is dangerous.
But Keria has ulti
here. Yeah, Klid's going to get spotted. He slinks in, gets pushed back there. Gravitum has been armed. Klid, he may need to ult to try and get out of this one, but no, he is just going to be able to walk it off. Should be fine, as, yep, Oner with the Rift Herald. He can just come around and drop that if he would like to, but maybe they don't even need to. Maybe they could use it in a different lane, because this turret is on its last legs, and it's 10 minutes. But they could also increase the tempo and just throw it down anyway, as Viper sticks around for a moment, but he will have to leave. As speaking of, okay, the train is going to arrive, but thankfully, Viper does just skate his way out, so isn't going to die to it. Still, that is going to guarantee the turret, and T1 have so much control of this game.
And this time around, it's Kingen. Unlike the Jax in the previous game, where you're going to feel great, it's Ornn, so it's kind of whatever. And then also Zeus has teleport, so he's able to teleport back. So Homalife get a little bit of a trade back, but not going to feel great about it. Fortunately for Kingen, that is the goal that he needs to finish Sunfire. So at least he's got that going for him, which is nice.
Yep. Got himself an item completion, and honestly, I mean, it's not as bad as it was in Game 2, Chronicler, so there is at least that. I'm still scratching my head, because this was the intentional red side selection, and I do think that Homalife's draft is a lot better. They have made the adaptation and the improvement, but we're seeing that the Milio Aphelios is still just doing the things that it wants to do, and Viper is going for the Trinity Force.
Yeah, I was about to say, that is nice. We do like that. Will mean that the health will be a little bit lower than when the result tree is picked, obviously, but still going to be a lot tankier than the previous game.
And is Kingen gonna be okay?
Yeah, he's on. He's fine.
Okay. He's
I don't know about his turret though. That I'd say his turret will not be.
Gumayusi is just having the greatest time ever on this Aphelios right now, as it's going to get pushed back. Not a whole lot they can do about it. Campfire set up. There's HLE as well, as Viper and Life are going to move their way in. Oner over to the side. They're not able to finish off the turret just yet, but man, they are just rolling in plates. Zeka here on the bottom side does grab a couple himself as Viper moves back towards mid, where another minion wave is crashing forward, and honestly, the amount of just dictating the map rotations that T1 are doing right now is pretty absurd. However, I mean, at least Zeka is getting some free time.
Yeah, and Zeka really needs it, right? Has actually been put behind, even though the early gank worked out. It was Klid getting the kill, and Zeka has been struggling when it comes to picking up CS. So picking up a few plates, left and right, is really going to help him stay even with Faker. Faker just teleporting towards the bottom half of the map, and secondary Drake, or the Hex stack, is available here. It's at T1 up to 2. There are a lot of weaker Drakes still in the rotation for the Soul and the Rift. So we'll see which one it ends up being.
Yeah, we are desperately praying for a Cloud Soul. Not a whole lot of better options. As Oner has started this one up. Klid was in his mist for a few moments.
Oh, look at the TP from Zeka.
Yeah.
That's a deep angle.
That is very, very deep. He's looking for it.
Drake's gone, though.
Yeah, are we actually going to be able to find anything to actually fight for, as Kingen's going to have his ram denied? Zeka also trying to move over here. Klid looking for Faker, but he has Spirit Rush. He's going to be absolutely fine, and it is just Drake being taken. Honestly, not anything else to really worry about, and then the Scion is just going to unstoppably onslaught away. Okay, Homalife Esports maybe feeling a bit of the fatigue. It's very late here. but I don't think that the decision-making has been anywhere near as crisp as it was in game number 1.
Crucially there, if Kingen actually is able to get his ultimate off, we might have a very different story, right? Zeka might make his way into the back line. They actually get a fight, because I do think that as everyone on T1 is kind of in the river there, if you can start a fight and Zeka gets a big flank, gets an ultimate off, just after he's finished his Everfrost, like, that's awesome. Like, you can win a fight off of that, you can retake tempo, but it is as easy for Guma as just autoing him and then activating his Gravitum, and then that was the end of it. And without the Ornn ultimate, no guaranteed engage. Zeka arrives when everyone but Faker has already left, and Faker obviously being Ahri, able to easily get out. And now, Hanwha Life have an incredibly strong team fight. And they have Ornn, they have Zeri, there is so much power for them, but they take a fight here and they don't win, they might be in deep trouble.
No call of the Forge Guard. Once again, the objective is extraordinarily low and taken here by Oner. He selects the Eye as Ornn is going to run away. Viper trying to get some damage in here as Zeka seems to be the target, able to body slam away though. And Hanwha Life Esports just watching as things get taken from them, I guess.
But that's better than the alternative, which was hard force a fight there, lose, and then lose your mid turret, lose your top lane turret, and from there probably lose the game. It's really tough, right? Because looking at your team comp, you have so much confidence going forward, going into the late game, when Ornn starts to give up his upgrades, when Viper finishes Runans, but you do need a base. You do need a decent amount of movement space on the map. And with how T1 have been playing, I don't know if you're really going to get that. Another Herald should surely mean that mid lane turret goes down, which is going to mean so much more control. And particularly on an Ocean Rift, with a Kha'Zix, losing control of the map is really, really rough. Right? Between Faker and Oner, you can't walk up anywhere. You're not going to be able to contest objectives, and Ocean isn't the best Rift, or the best Soul, but T1 will still take it. You don't hold them back.
Yep, certainly have a lot of brushes to play around with as well. Kind of a buff to Kha'Zix with how he kind of works, wanting to slink in and out. But not exactly going to be game-changing. 3,000 gold, and like you were talking about, Ocean Soul on the cards. T1 just needing to stack up a couple more. If Hanwha Life Esports get 4 Ocean Drakes, though, like, my goodness, that will make Zeri completely impossible to deal with. That is a long time in the future and will require a lot of things to go right here for Viper. As Oner is going to get barreled as he's off towards the side. Hanwha Life, once again, watching as one of their things is going to die. And now Kingen, now going to press the on-horn, looks for the opportunity, doesn't really find anyone with it, just trying to play defensively as he can. Zeus in trouble, but he just ults away. There he goes, and he'll be A-OK. And in the end, T1, they just grab more stuff and get a few cooldowns out of Hanwha Life Esports, and then they're just happy.
Only Ghost invested from Guma there. When you look at the summoners on the opposing end, Viper, Cleanse, and Life Heal used. A lot of ultimates across the board, but those should be mostly up when the next fight rolls around. And this is where the early Dragon second really pays off, and where I think we see... It's so interesting with Milio, because when it comes to like looking broken, K'Sante and Zeri, it's very in your face.
Yeah, you know.
Right? Like, you're watching it happen and you're like, what? How? Why? How is this allowed? As see here, the ultimate from Kingen attempts to catch out Faker, went in aggressively there, but he is able to get away. No other CC lands on him. And as a result, the only one that gets chunked down is Zeus. He's able to ult out just fine, being unstoppable, and that's the end of the play. Yep. But as I was saying, with K'Sante, like, after that previous game, like, okay, we're banning this, 100%. But Milio, it feels a lot more insidious. A player like Keria, very often, even on things like Kenj, we talk about him being flashy.
Yeah.
Milio just is not that champion at all. Oh, might have cursed him.
Oh, was pretty flashy there. Don't look at me like that. I had to say it. It was,
yeah, I guess.
Hey, couldn't be more silver platter, okay?
You're right. It was good comedic time.
Thank you.
I'm just...
Yeah, no, I'd be disappointed as well, but it had to happen. It had to happen.
You had to do it to him.
I did. Well, we'll see whether HLE can grab this Drake. As you can see, T1 not wanting to give it up. Great Charm is going to connect there as immediately you've got Zeka being taken out. It's Oner that gets that kill as now Viper just desperately trying to get himself out. They should be able to utilize the ult in order to do so. And they will be able to escape. Holding onto the flash as well there for Viper is certainly good news also. So they sacrifice their Gragas and will be able to deny the Dragon stacking here for T1.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
That's all that's on Hanwha's mind. Just try desperately to cling on to whatever you can defend. And more is going down, right? Crucially, HLE got the Dragon, which buys them, in theory, 10 extra minutes before a soul can come through. Great start of the fight here. Zeka gets isolated, Faker gets the charm, and then Zeus splits up the rest of the fight. Gumayusi goes unmatched, and there is zero playmaking potential for the rest of HLE. Also, no level 13 yet on Kingen, so hasn't even been able to upgrade his own item, although not sitting on a mythic just yet. Needs to get that first, and then hopefully also soon thereafter able to upgrade other people's. Oh, Zeka. Oh, no.
I think Zeka may be in trouble. He's going to go golden. Tries to get that cast down. Still going to flash. And isn't actually going to be taken out here. The re-engage opportunity. Is it going to happen as Faker is going to get sniped? There's the prowling projectile as well. Viper wants to be able to take this. The sidestep is just gorgeous. And Faker will be taken out before he can teleport. I don't know whether it deserves certification, but it's a kill for Viper. And if you're a HLE Esports fan, you're happy about it. As Keria and Gumayusi going to be here, stealing away Klid's stuff. Klid will be able to settle for his Brambleback. And maybe, just maybe, some HLE Esports coming alive.
Those are the moments that comebacks are made of. This might be inconsequential. You might see T1 just start up the Baron, right? Force a fight, take the game. They still have a 4.5k gold lead, but if they end up losing, that's the moments, right? They're Viper picking up a kill, right? Getting accelerated, getting his rune-ons just a little bit earlier. And Zeka actually able to stall long enough with his flash, with his stopwatch to have the rest of his team arrive. King with a proactive teleport.
Oh,
there we go.
2 items now done here for Viper. Just looking for that one last one, the Titanic Hydra. Oh, if he gets to Sterix as well. The build is just so silly. Really silly. We remember, of course, like this is what happened when Zeri was first released. You basically build her as a bruiser and she does a bajillion damage, and that seems to be the case one more time. Cozy Campfire, even with Severin, Gumayusi's still able to outrange Viper quite considerably. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the teleport also, we've seen a lot of very liberal teleport uses back when Ahri was still a spellbook user. This time around, though, costly is Oner.
Okay. He is just going to be able to hit him with a W there. And now teleport onto the Baron. There we go.
Kingen isn't here, and he doesn't have TP available.
And, well, I mean, I've seen this movie before, and you're going to see that they do get vision of this one. Faker is off to the side, finds the charm onto Klid. The Baron isn't dead just yet, though. He's looking to try and get in, but it's not. Oh, he almost gets it, but it's going to be secured by Oner. They take down Klid as well, as now Viper is going to get charmed. It didn't really seem that noticeable because, of course, he's still going to be walking the same direction, but, oh, man, that is a scary moment, but one that T1 are able to capitalize on nicely, and maybe because of game number 1, I was too scared.
Well, I'd love to see a slowed down replay, because I'm not sure if Klid actually had a moment, or if it was like a scenario where he's like getting into the pit by the time the Baron went down. Was definitely very close, but going to be a big win for T1, because if you lose that Baron and HLE get the stall for like an extra couple of minutes, again, you didn't get the Dragon before, so you're not sitting on soul point. It would be a very tough time. Faker just out of vision here. Knock up from Zeus, but Klid still makes his way into the pit. Actually had an opportunity. Yeah. So that was a straight up flip. Combination of his flash and his ultimate were invested, but T1 get away with it there. But if Klid gets that, all bets are off. There is still a very fat Aphelios here, so it's not like it's a guaranteed win, but the things I've seen from Zeri Yumi have scarred me irreparably.
Yes, I'm 100% with you. And Viper, as he puts more items together, it's going to be even more scary. Does also now have the Infinity Force, the Trinity Fusion, the whatever it's called, the big damage triangle.
I like Infinity Force.
I like it. Cool. That was I think that was our initial Orn name for it. I believe that was when LS and I were coming up with funny names a while ago. But I think it might be Trinity Fusion, or at least it used to be. As okay, Life Esports wanted to stop the Soul Point from going down. Zeus just going to charge his Q, as it is going to be the Drake secured by T1. Fight may be on, but it isn't. T1 just going to back away. Life Esports going to do the same thing. No point in fighting over nothing, as the minion wave in mid is going to be where Viper turns his attention. And look, this is T1 just extending gold leads over and over again. However, like, there is a Zerayumi in the game, as, okay, unstoppable onslaught here from the Scion.
Yeah, it's just for prio.
Yeah, manages to get the minion wave. There we go.
We've had 4 kills in 24 minutes, Atlas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, it hasn't been, like, as far as jam-packed action, it hasn't been.
It's more of a.
This is a thinking.
You know when your friend.
Thinking man's
Zeus.
As Zeus is going to be caught thinking for a moment. Yeah, he used that on the minion wave earlier on. The Q is going to be denied. Viper gets another kill. The zombie version of the Scion is going to take down a ward.
So it's not Zeus's night outside of the moments he had.
Kingan's turn, or the turnaround. There's the knock-up onto Faker. The Ornhorn immediately is going to be called, and Faker says, no! You do not walk through my jungle! And, Wolf? Hello? I mean, it's not certification. Do we get Orn certification? Because, I mean...
T1? T1, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what's happening?
Okay.
Why
keeping it interesting.
This is.
I mean, this is an Orn Zeri Yumi composition.
Yes.
You're not allowed to give them any room.
No, you can't. You can't do these things. Like they might. Again, I want to read it. T1 might still be completely fine, but like this is. It's not a great look, right? Like getting killed. Zeus dying there is a straight up mistake, but that's kind of fine. I think you can still shove. Or at the very least pressure, deny them vision. Mistake, but acceptable. But trying to then, like, collapse on this Orn and not using either your...
Oh, we've got a bit of a team fight here. Zeus is taking a lot of damage. Kingan is extraordinarily tanky as Zeka does get the help of the kitty cat. Cleared now slinking into his mist. Oner off to the side. Just got to make sure everyone's alive. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're all alive. We weren't ganked by a replay too badly.
So when does Viper finish his next item? Because he's going back now.
Yeah, it's now.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he finishes his item.
Are you sure? Okay, never mind. It's not now.
We'll see.
He wasn't actually.
But yeah, no. You know when someone recommends you like a movie or a book or a series and it's like, it's a slow burn, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to wait for like 3 quarters for anything to happen. And then often, it's worth it, right? Like, and then they deliver on it, and we're now currently waiting for the part where it delivers. Yeah. This is all build up.
Oh, it's actually Bloodthirster here for Viper. An interesting choice.
It's also Duskblade for Oner.
Yeah.
Huh.
Curious stuff. So we're delving back in time a little bit with some of these builds.
Yeah, Duskblade, we haven't really seen, even though I think the item is in a pretty good spot because of how insanely strong Ghostblade has been as Oner forward aggressively.
Not going to get the super duper fire kick, the boom boom fire kick. I should actually find out what the real name is. I just like saying different
really with this
adjectives plus kicking.
One highlight as well. I do think one of the issues that T1 have, which we mentioned before, is that look at what they actually have to start a fight.
I mean, also look at what they have to lock down Zeri.
Yes, it's not a lot. It's really just the threat of an objective, and lo and behold,
it's been working for them, right? Like, it's been fine. As Faker is actually spotted here. Viper is playing pretty far up. It's a little bit frightening. However, he is going to be all right. You can see Zeker is on the top side of the map, just dealing with that minion wave as best he can. Bottom wave just being left to its own devices. Hopefully it can take care of itself. And T1, they get mid prio, the Baron available. 5,000 gold, all that separates these two teams. You were hutting?
Yeah, no, just Viper getting the W activation. That was cool. Oner.
Klid is going to have the Heartbreaker and is going to get his heart broken. Oner is going to clear him up. That is very swift execution. Zeus could be in trouble as well as Faker looks for the Spirit Rush. The Operation Get Behind Viper as Zeker is extraordinarily low. Viper is still okay, but everybody else is just getting destroyed. Viper ults. He's trying to do it, but he's going to get charmed. He's going to get taken out. And Humble Life Esports, that was not your team fight. T1 will win the game.
Starts off with Klid getting caught and ends with a clean ace for T1. That was the twist. That was the reveal. That was the payout, Atlas, of this slow burn of a game.
What is that, like, by the way, T1 just still win? Is that the twist?
I guess.
Oh man, the riders must have striked, I think, for that one to be a twist. As once again, Klid is going to be charmed up and taken out. Nothing he can really do there as both of the Nexus turrets will be taken out. The Nexus to follow and T1! Oh man, they made